Ramsey Solutions surveyed over 10,000 actual millionaires, the largest study of its kind, to find out what really separates people who build wealth from people who don't. It wasn't stock picking, it wasn't inheritance, it wasn't even a big income. 4 patterns showed up again and again, and the third one completely contradicts what most finance content tells you. Here's what the data actually says. This is the National Study of Millionaires. Over 10,000 US millionaires surveyed about their actual habits, spending, and attitudes toward money. Not a highlight reel, not a listicle, real survey data, and some of the findings go directly against what a lot of people assume about how wealth actually gets built. Before I get into the 4 patterns, here's the headline number. 79% of the millionaires in this study received no inheritance at all from their parents or family. Not 1 cent, so if it's not inherited money, what is it? Stick around, because pattern 4 is the one that surprised researchers most, and it's something you can start today, for free. Pattern 1. They live on less than they make, and it's not close. 94% of the millionaires in this study said they spend less than they earn. Almost 3 out of 4 have never carried a credit card balance in their entire lives. This is the least exciting pattern on this list, and it's also the most foundational. Every other pattern only works if this one is already true. That's the obvious one. Pattern 2 is more specific than you'd expect. Pattern 2. They invested consistently, mostly through boring, unglamorous accounts. 8 out of 10 millionaires in the study invested in their company's 401k plan, and 3 out of 4 also invested outside of it. Here's the part that surprises people. Not one millionaire in this study named single stock picking as a major factor in their success. No hot stock tips. No, I found it early. Just consistent contributions to diversified accounts, over and over, for years. Pattern 3 is the one that contradicts almost everything finance content usually tells you about looking rich. They deliberately avoided looking wealthy. The study found millionaires consistently favor practical, reliable vehicles over luxury brands, not because they can't afford something flashier, but because that's not where the money was going. 85% even use a grocery list, and more than a quarter say they always stick to it. This is the opposite of the fake it till you make it image a lot of finance content pushes. The people who actually built wealth mostly weren't performing wealth. That's a hard one for a lot of finance channels to admit, because, buy the luxury item, that's what success looks like, gets more clicks. But that's not what the data shows. And here's the one I promised you at the start. Pattern 4. It mostly wasn't about having a huge income. The top careers among millionaires in this study include engineer, accountant, teacher, management, and attorney. Solid, middle to upper income professions, not necessarily huge salaries. What mattered more was consistency. Nearly half of the millionaires surveyed save at least 16% of their income, every month, for years. Not a windfall, not a lucky break, a repeated decision, compounded over decades. That's the real pattern behind all 4 of these. Not one big move, a series of boring, repeatable decisions, made consistently enough that they eventually add up to 7 figures.
So to recap what over 10,000 actual millionaires reported. Live on less than you make. Invest consistently in boring, diversified accounts instead of chasing stock picks. Don't spend to look wealthy. And prioritize consistency over income size. None of these require a 6-figure salary to start. According to the data, that's actually the point. If this was useful, subscribing helps me know to keep pulling apart studies like this one.